everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Today I'm looking at the Star Wars Armada Rebel Transports Expansion Pack. So the Rebel Transport, or their formal name, the GR-75 Transports, made their on-screen debut in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And then they were a mainstay in every Rebel fleet we've seen on screen thus far, from Return of the Jedi, Rebels, and even Rogue One. Now, in the films themselves, they are basically unarmed, and a lot of people don't know what these actually do in the film. Are they cannon fodder? Do they carry fuel? In The Empire Strikes Back, we do know they loaded them up with materials from Hoth during the evacuation. So it's pretty awesome, and I wish we got to see what these things could actually do in the film besides just being part of a fleet. So I'm excited to actually review these ships because unlike most, as you can see, there's two ships on a stand, a flotilla. And unlike most ships we looked at, one of these isn't even armed. It just has a basic shield and that's it. And there's a reason for all this. These ships, unlike most that are completely warships, these are, I would say, aid ships. They're on the battlefield to support your other ships, heal them, stuff like that, and that is awesome. So like I mentioned, you get two little ships on this flotilla, and each one of these vessels measures in at about 1.5 inches apiece. So they're not too big, but they do have some detail. And speaking of detail, we have a lot to go over. So let's take a look at the cards, tokens, put this bad boy on the stand, look at the mold, the paint, compare it, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. Now for my favorite part of these videos, the dial token roll call. 1 speed dial, 1 command dial, 2 defense tokens, 4 command tokens, 5 objective tokens, 5 victory tokens, 2 squadron ID tokens, and finally, 3 ship ID tokens. So that does it for all the tokens and dials, so now let's take a look at the cards. Alright, for the upgrade cards, like always, I'll go over the name of the card, and then if you would like to pause the video and read the paragraph below, by all means, go right ahead and then continue on when you're done. First up, General Kraken, Torin Far, Commsnet, Jammin Field, Bomber Command Center, Repair Crews, awesome card, ship title Bright Hope, and finally, ship title, Quantum Storm. So that does it for the upgrade cards, so now let's take a look at our 2 ship cards. Alright, for the first ship card, we have the GR-75 Medium Transport, 3 hull, 1 black anti-squadron die, 1 command, 2 squadron, 2 engineering. And as we can see, no weapons at all. And then 1 shield each. Very weak ship. However, it does have upgrade slots and only costs 18 points. So as we looked at with the upgrade cards, you saw that there was a lot of cards to help your other ships. That's where this comes in handy. So don't let the missing weapons confuse you. This is a very handy ship, depending on how you play it. For the next ship card, we have the GR-75 Combat Retrofit. 3 hull, blue anti-squadron die, 1 command, 2 squadron, 2 engineering. And then we have weapons in the front and aft arc. 1 shield, again, speed of 3. Some upgrades, and 24 points. All in all, I think these 2 ships are very cool, depending on how you play them. Alright, for the stand, I went over this a couple times now. You get your ship card that you want, so let's go with the GR-75 Medium Transport. You grab your pylon, put it in like so, lock it into place. And as you can see, this one's different. Instead of being 1 pylon, it separates into 2. Take your ships like so. Just slide them in, be gentle. These are very fragile. And once your ships are in, you're good to go. Alright, when it comes to the mold of the Rebel Transport, again, you do get 2. They are exactly identical. So looking at this, we'll go over the main sections of the ship, and then we'll get nice and close up for all those fine details. Right here, we should have our bridge, shield generator, engines in the back and the bottom. We have our main hull, which looks pretty good. On the bottom, we have our cargo section right here. Peg for the stand, and that's about it. So now let's get a close-up look at this baby. Okay, getting as close as I can, we can see the engines here, all the little recesses. That is amazing, that engine section. Here we have some lines in the hull. Actually, the bridge is missing that section like a Mon Calamari ship, but for the size, it's pretty good. What are you going to do? Coming down the main body, you can see all these lines. Little recesses. This thing is very small, but jam-packed full of detail. Magnificent stuff. On the bottom, we have more of our hull going down the sides. And then dozens of boxes here for all the cargo and modules. Pretty amazing stuff. Let's Get a profile here. Pretty amazing. On the side. The engine. Just love the backs of these. Pretty good. Now for the engines themselves, you can see all the little detail in this recessed area here. Amazing stuff. All in all, great looking ship. So that's everything I have to say about the mold, so now let's take a look at the paint. When it comes to the paint of the Rubble Transport, we only have 3 colors. First one up is a nice light gray on the hull and body. Very nice choice, very cool. Second color is a nice blue for the engines. No drips or smears, pretty good actually. And the final color is a nice black wash, which fills in all these lines, paneling, modules. I like it a lot on the engine section and for the cargo section underneath. Very cool. I think it came out great. Now the other transport is basically painted the same way, just a little less black wash, but nonetheless they are mostly identical. So that does it for the paint. So now let's put this bad boy back on the stand, compare it to some other ships, and then we'll be done. Alright, for a quick size comparison with the Rubble Transports, another Armada ship, the Imperial Assault Carriers, or the Kazantes, another flotilla. Same basic principle as the Rubble Transports, but we'll look at these next time. And then finally, on the right-hand side, we have the Imperial Cargo Shuttle, part of the Hot Wheels diecast line of starships. And that's everything I have to say today about the Star Wars Armada Rubble Transports expansion pack. Now again, these ships made their first on-screen appearance in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and for the size, each ship measures in at 1.5 inches apiece. And for the size, they are jam-packed full of detail. Now growing up, I was a huge fan of the Rebel fleet. I loved how it was a bunch of different factions coming together, and their fleet showed it. You had the medical frigates, calamari cruisers, Corellian corvettes, and the Rebel transports. So I'm very happy that Fantasy Flight Games gave us these. So why are these ships particularly good in Armada? First of all, they are not the normal warships by any means. These are strictly there for support, and I love that aspect. They're like medical ships, if you want to put it that way. That these will come in, and their sole purpose, depending on how you upgrade them, is to aid your fleet, aid your squadrons. And that is very cool, and can be a great strategic tool in your game. Now, I just hit the ship, so I had to start over. However, besides being a very good support ship, what makes us stand out even more is the fact that it's not just one ship. Instead, we get a flotilla. 2 ships on one stand. And I've seen a lot of people take one of these off and put a fighter on there. It's a little customizable, if you want to put it that way. But it does stand out, not only in the collection, but on the battlefield. And I think that is very important. Now, looking at what you get the upgrade cards to rock this baby, 2 ship cards, extra dials and tokens, which are very important. Then for the ships themselves, they may be very small at 1.5 inches apiece. However, they are fully detailed and painted, and I think they came out really good. Now, if you're looking to buy these, I got mine from Barnes & Noble. You could go on eBay, Amazon, or hobby shops if they carry them. Now, these roughly are about $19.99, $19.95, depending on where you go. However, like always, I will say, shop around, see if you can get it cheaper, save yourself some money. Now, I recommend these ships for anybody who's a fan of the Rebellion, or if you play Armada, users of the Rebel faction. These ships not only look great, but they are strategic support craft, and I think they will really help you out. So that's everything I have to say about this ship today. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, hit that like button. If you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.